If you wake up in the morning and you're really groggy, you're sleepy, but you're also stiff and achy, this routine is perfect for you. We're gonna get you energized and get all of those kinks out. Let's get started. Okay, so this entire thing is up on your feet because we really want to get you energized. So feet are planted, reaching your arms really high overhead, almost like feeling like a big full body yawn. It feels so good. We're gonna exhale as you pull your arms down into the shape of a W. Think about really squeezing your elbows back. And I know what's gonna want to happen here. You're gonna want to arch your tail out behind you. But as you do these motions, big reach overhead, making sure that your tailbone is staying down, pelvis is level, and then pull your arms into a W, exhaling, pressing your chest through. Reach up again, inhaling as you reach, and then pull your arms, squeezing your elbows down and back like a W. A very active stretch here. You'll feel this across your chest. Inhale. Keeping your tailbone down and pull into a W, exhale. Reach up really high again. We're gonna switch it up here. I want you to grab your right wrist and really pull that right arm, almost like you're trying to pull your arm out of the socket. And we're gonna lean your body to the left. This feels like a big side body stretch. Come back through the center, grab your left wrist, pulling that arm up first, leaning your body over to the right. Back through center, and then slight bend at your knees as you fold forward, letting your head drop. Chest lays over your thighs. Keep your knees bent as you stand all the way back up overhead, reaching really high. Tuck your tailbone down. Once again, anytime those arms are overhead, you're gonna wanna arch at your low back, so we gotta keep that tailbone down, okay? Grab that right wrist again, lean your body left. Left wrist, pull it up and out of the socket, lean your body right. Back through center, fold over, slightly bent knees again. Chest lays on your thighs, head drops. Press through your legs as you rise all the way big up overhead. Once more doing these movements, grab that right wrist, a little quicker this time. Grab the left wrist up high, lean right. Back through center, final fold here over slightly bent legs, head drops. Big exhale, let your head dangle. You can even nod or shake your head, move it in a circle. Bend through knees to rise up just slightly so that your hands are on your knees, and you can spread your feet open just a little bit here. So I'll show you from this side here. So the heel of your hand is going to be right at your knee. And in this motion, I want you to really round at the low back, almost like we're doing a cat-cow if you were doing yoga here. And then we're going to arch at the tail. So arching your back, pressing your chest through, looking up. Go again, doing that same thing. Tuck your tailbone, rounding, really rounding your upper back too. And then go the opposite direction. Arching at the tail, pressing your hips out behind you, pushing your chest through. One more, just like that. Tuck your tailbone under, waving it up across your back. You can even tuck your chin at the top, and then release, press your chest through, arch at the low back. So find the midpoint between those two extremes. We're gonna lock on that midpoint at the low back, holding steady. Let's release your left hand off of your left knee, and we're gonna reach that arm up really high up to the sky. Bring that left hand back down, reach the right arm up high up to the sky. Bring it down. If at any moment you need to stand up out of this squatting position, you certainly can. Just find your way back into it, making sure that you're not rounded at your back. Let's go left hand again. The thumb is gonna point behind you. That will release any pinching at your shoulder. Right arm reaches, exhaling at the top. Left arm one more time. And right arm reaches. and stand all the way back up. Hey, if your core is feeling so weak lately, and because of that, you feel like you're getting a lot of that back and hip pain, I want you to check out my free 5-day core tune-up program. It's entirely free, and it's the perfect progression of the ideal core exercises that help engage your midsection and get rid of that back and hip pain for good. I'm gonna link it below. Definitely check it out. We're gonna position the right foot forward. So you're in this slightly staggered stance here. Back leg is going to be pivoted inward just a little bit. If that's uncomfortable at your knee for any reason, you don't have to do the pivot. What we're going to do now is find a stretch through the front of your hip socket, so our hip flexors. So I want you to think about tucking your tailbone under, squeezing this glute really firmly and pressing your hip bone forward. We're gonna add on by reaching that left arm up to the sky and stretching your right fingertips down to the floor. In this position, it's going to be tempting to just press forward and arch your entire body backwards. I don't want you to do that. I want you to think about just taking this hip bone and pushing it forward. Let's switch sides now. So left foot's gonna go forward, right foot slightly back, pivoted inward just a touch, tailbone tucks. Squeeze that glute to press your hip bone forward, right arm reaches, left fingertips to the floor. You should get a really nice stretch down the front side of that right hip. Exhale. Let's do one more on each side. I always recommend that you exhale when you feel the deepest part of the stretch. Tuck your tailbone, press that hip bone forward, left fingertips reach, right fingertips reach down. Exhaling, and switch sides one more time. Left foot forward, right foot back, tuck tail, press that hip bone forward. This is one of those stretches that's a little awkward the first few times you do it, but then once you get the feel, you feel what you're trying to stretch right up in that hip socket, and it feels so good. Okay, I've got a balance challenge for you next, which is really gonna help wake you up. If at any point you don't feel comfortable, just place your hand on the wall. Perfectly fine. So we're gonna grab your right knee and hug it into your chest. In this motion, you're gonna be rounded forward, but I want you to work really hard at sitting upright as much as possible. Squeeze that knee up as high as you can, standing really tall through that standing leg. Hold steady as much as you can, and if you're able, let's move that ankle in a circle clockwise and counterclockwise. Shoulders are back, posture is really tall. Let's release that leg, but instead of falling out of it, you're gonna slowly let that foot down to the floor. We'll switch sides. Grab your left knee, hug it into your chest. Once again, if you need to hold onto the wall, you can. Hug it in tight, sit up really tall, shoulders are down your back, and move that foot in a circle. We're energizing and waking up all of your balancing muscles in your ankle. Not just your one that you're holding, but that ankle on the floor too. You should be feeling that. Let's release very slowly and steady. One more stretch here to finish. Let's extend your left heel out on the floor. We're just gonna sit back into your hips, almost like you're trying to stick your booty really far out behind you. We're getting a good hamstring stretch down this front leg. Let's release it and switch sides. Extend your right heel out in front. Standing on this left leg, most of your weight is through that left leg, so we're doing almost like a little mini squat on that side, pressing your right hip bone back and release. Let's switch sides. Going a little quicker now to really warm you up. These hamstrings can start to feel really tight, especially first thing in the morning when you've been sleeping, when you've been stiff and tight in bed. This can really help. Let's go one more on each side. Pressing those hips back. Last one here. And there you go. So you should feel nice and stretched out and energized and ready for your day. If you love this, if this felt good for you, be sure to tell me in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. And I actually have another video very similar to this, a lot of really great morning stretches for you. I'm gonna link it for you here too. So definitely go check that out. I'll see you next time.